Okay, so let's continue. That's our discussion with rule number 13, which is the overtaking. So I know that this is already familiar to you because even when we are on the street, we do experience overtaking. And when we say overtaking, there should be at least two vessels involved. Kaya nga overtaking, there should be one who will overtake and there should be one who will be vessel being overtaken. Okay, so let's start here on the number one, the letter A. So any vessel overtaking any other shall keep out of the way of the vessel being overtaken. So this is very easy to understand. It just says that kung kayo yung o-overtake, dapat kayo yung iiwas. Again, if you are the overtaking vessel, you shall be the one to make action to keep clear out of the way of the other. Okay? So for any reason that you will be overtaking other vessel, then you should be the one to take action to avoid collision. Okay? And then let's proceed to the letter B. So the letter B answers the question, how do we consider a vessel as an overtaking vessel? Okay? So it says there that another vessel from direction more than 22.5 degrees above her beam. Okay? And then at night, she would be able to see only the stern light of that vessel, but neither of her side lights. So it says here that if during nighttime, you will only be considered as overtaking vessel if the overtaking vessel is if the overtaking vessel can only see the stern light of the vessel being overtaken, and you will not be able and you cannot see any of her side lights. So ano ba yung stern lights? Ano ba yung side lights? So let me show you an example. Okay? Eto ka, let me show you the diagram. Okay, so let's proceed here. Ayan, okay. So cadet, this is an example of a diagram showing the lights of a vessel. So sabi dun, cadets, that you can only be considered as an overtaking vessel if you are coming more than 22.5 degrees above her beam. Una, ano ba yung beam? Okay? Ano ba yung beam? So the beam, cadets, is here. This is ito, yung pinaka-kitnang kalahati ng vessel. The horizontal half of the vessel. That's the beam. And then sabi, from there, bilang kayo ng 22.5 degrees. Port and starboard. Okay? So this is 22.5 and this is 22.5. Okay? Wait lang. And then, what are these lights? So during nighttime, cadets, we have the masthead light, we have the side lights. So ano ba yung side lights? We have the red on the port side and we have the green on the starboard side. And we also have the lights on our stern. Ano ba yung stern? That's the back of the vessel. Okay, likod ng barko, meron din tayong ilaw dyan at ito yun, cadets. So this is what you call the stern light. So ang sabi dun ng cadets, you can only be considered as an overtaking vessel during nighttime if you can only see, ang nakikita mo lang dapat ay stern light. Okay? Kasi kung nandito ka na, okay, if you are here, so you will be able to see the stern light as well as the side light. So you are not an overtaking vessel. Okay? So you can only be considered as an overtaking vessel if you are coming from more than 22.5 degrees above the beam. So that is somewhere here. That is mula dito hanggang dito. So if you are coming from any point in here, going to here, then you are considered as an overtaking vessel. Okay, so don't forget, it's more than 22.5 degrees above the beam. Then for you to be considered as more than 22.5 degrees above the beam of the vessel for you to be considered as an overtaking vessel. Okay? So, ayan. And let me show you another picture. Let me show you a picture. So, ito yung cadets, sinasabi ko. So, ito yung mga, these are the regular lights of a vessel during nighttime. Okay? So, ito yung front view. So, meron tayong ilaw sa port side, kulay pula. Meron tayong ilaw sa starboard side, kulay berde. Meron tayong, this is what we call the masthead light, itong kulay puti. That's somewhere near the bridge. And then we have this one as well. Because we do have, actually we do have two masthead lights. Isa sa unahan, isa sa forward station, at isa sa in the mast. Okay, mast. That's above the bridge, in the bridge. Okay? And then we have this one on the stern. So it means that during nighttime, if you are an overtaking vessel, you should only see this light. Ito lang yung makikita nyo dapat. Kasi nga, kapag overtaking vessel, dun dapat kayo manggagaling sa likod. You should come from behind. Okay? So that's how you consider an overtaking vessel. Let's go back to the PowerPoint. Okay, so that is the explanation of this one. And then, let's continue. So sabi nga doon, you should not be able to see neither of her side lights. Kapag may nakikita kayong side lights, you will not be considered. Kung kayo yung overtake at may nakikita kayong side lights, then that's not an overtaking. You should always come from behind. Then dapat kayo, ang makikita nyo lang dapat muna sa simula ay yung stern light lang muna. Okay? Because since the start of the process, nakikita nyo na agad yung kanyang side lights, then that's not an overtaking, but mostly of crossing situation. Okay? So, ayan. Let's continue. So, this rule overrides all the other giveaway rules. Okay? So, yun, sabi nga dyan, cadets, the overtaking vessel must keep out of the way of the vessel being overtaken. Okay, so this is both for sailing and for power-driven vessels. So whoever is overtaking, you should be the one to keep out of the way of the vessel being overtaken. And sabi dyan, cadets, you can pass on either side of the vessel, but keep well clear. Okay, so if you will be overtaking, you can overtake both on the port and starboard, but make sure you will be keeping way out of the vessel being overtaken. You should be the one to avoid the vessel na overtaken ninyo. And then, if you are being overtaken, hold your course and speed until the other vessel is passed and well clear. If you are aware already that someone is overtaking you, cadets, then you just need to maintain your course and speed, because you are the stand-on vessel in this situation. Okay? When you say stand-on, you just need to maintain your course and speed. Kasi if the other vessel will be overtaking you and you will also be increasing your course and speed, then that might create a risk of collision. Okay? So if you are aware already that the other vessel is overtaking you, then you just need to maintain your course and speed until the other vessel completely overtake your vessel. Okay? Overtook your vessel. Dapat nakalampas na siya before you take any other action. And this is the scenario, cadets. Sabi nga dyan, you can overtake both on the port or on the starboard. Either of the two pala. Okay? And then, sabi dyan, cadets, she shall assume that this is the case and accordingly. So, if you are in doubt, di ba sabi nga lagi, if you are in doubt, then you need to assume already. Okay? In order for you to take action, or in order for you to make an appraisal of the situation. And then letter D, if you will be overtaking, the only meaning of this one is that if you will be overtaking, you should not create a crossing situation. Again, according to letter D of the Rule 13, if you will be overtaking, you should not create a crossing situation. Ano bang ibig sabihin? Okay, so let's go here first. I have pala an example. Yung kanina, okay? So as you can see, this one, this is considered as an overtaking vessel because it's more than 22.5 degrees above the beam of the vessel. This one is also considered. Okay, this one, cadet, this is not, do you think this is considered as an overtaking? The answer is no. Because as you can see, the one that she can see is the starboard side light. Okay? So sabi ko nga, if you can see the side lights, then that's not considered as an overtaking, but more of crossing situation. Okay? So yun yung ibig kong sabihin. So it means here that you came from here direction. So it's more of crossing. Ayan. So let's proceed to the next one. Ayan. So it's just loading for a while. So I will be giving you an example that a vessel that an overtaking vessel should not create a crossing situation. Okay, ano bang ibig sabihin?
As they monitor each other, they can see compass bearing not changing, but ranging.
Ito. Ayan. So first and foremost, cadet, you can consider this as an overtaking situation because if you will be drawing from here, from the above, from the beam of the vessel, okay, and then here, 22.5, 22.5. So pasok. This vessel comes from behind, so this vessel can be considered as an overtaking vessel. Okay? If and only if siya ay plano niyang lampasan. So it came from this position and then that can be considered as an overtaking situation. Okay? And then
Now, of course, as soon as they see each other from a direction more than 22.5 degrees back,
let's see. Ayan, cadets. So as you can see from this position, this vessel overtaken the vessel and came from here. Ang sinasabi cadets din sa atin ay kapag kayo ay nag-overtake, hindi dapat kayo magko-cross. Okay? Kung kailan nakalampas na kayo, saka kayo magko-crossing. Because if that happens, you are putting the vessel being overtaken at risk. Yung in-overtaken nyo, nilalagay nyo sa alangan kapag ganun. Okay, so ganyan. Lumampas siya. And then, pagkalampas niya, plano niya palang mag-crossing. Then that is the one that you should avoid. Yun yung sinasabi ng rule, cadet. Okay? So, ano dapat? So, yan. Magkikreate ng risk of collision. So, pag ganyan, ang iiwas pa ito. Pag ganyan, because that's a crossing. Then that's something that you need to avoid, cadets. Okay? If you will be overtaking, you should not create a crossing situation. What could have you done? Ay ito. This is the one that you should have done. Kung plano nyo palang mag-cross, dun pala kayo pupunta, then you should not overtake in the first place. But, dapat dun na kayo dumaan sa likuran. Okay? Kasi kanina naman nandito na kayo. Diba? Then, bakit pa kayo overtake and then pupunta kayo dadaan sa harapan? That is risky. That's not a good seamanship. So, if this case happens, then, and you are going to this direction, then you should just go in this way and not overtake and then create a crossing situation. That's not a good idea. Okay? Yun yung sinasabi ng rule, cadets, that if you will be overtaking, you should not create a crossing situation because you will be putting the other vessel on a risk. Okay? That's a very big risk, cadets. Okay. Let's see if we still have more in this overtaking. Okay, I think that's it, cadets, for Rule 13. Let's now proceed to Rule number 14. Okay? So kung yun kanina, cadets, ay overtaking. When we say overtaking, ano yung ating illustrations? Meron isang vessel, and then the other vessel is coming from more than 22.5 degrees above the beam. Nasa likuran. Okay? Sa likuran ng galing. It's 22.5, 22, eto. Somewhere, something like this. So this, assuming this is the beam, medyo mahirap na mag-drawing, and then 22.5 degrees, ito. And then the vessel coming is from here. Ito naman, cadets, when we say head-on, kaya nga head-on is head-to-head, bow to bow of the vessel. So it means that you are coming from reciprocal forces. Okay? So it means na kung yung kanina magkasunod, ito naman ay magkatapatan. Okay? This is head-on. And sabi dyan, cadets, is applicable to when two power-driven vessels. Again, this is only applicable when two power-driven vessels. So what's power-driven? These are the vessels being propelled by machinery. Okay? So how do we consider that is situation a head-on? So this is when meeting on reciprocal. When we see reciprocal, kung ang direction nito, cadets, ay going south, ito naman dapat ay going north. Okay? So this is going to, this course is 180 degrees. This course is 360 or 00 degrees. 000 degrees. And if this is going to 90 degrees, dapat yun namang isang barko ay papunta ng the course niya ay 270. So that's what you call reciprocal. Okay? So you are on the opposite direction. Okay? And then there is no change in bearing. Ibig sabihin, cadets, kayo ay there will be a point of collision. Kasi there are some instances, kayo naman, cadets, ay reciprocal, pero malayo naman. Ano? So magkalayo naman pala kayo. So for example, ganyan, and as times goes by, malaki naman yung change of bearing, so there is no risk of collision. Magkalayo naman kayo. But there are some instances that you are on the same, nandun kayo sa isang daan, and there will be a point of collision. So this is what you are going to do. Okay? So according to Rule 14, cadets, if you experience, if you have experienced this head-on situation, you have met other vessels in reciprocal forces, and there is a risk of collision, so it means that there is no change in bearing, then both of you shall, anong gagawin? Alter course to starboard. So sino ang mag-alter course to starboard? Parehas kayo. Okay? Both of you shall alter course to starboard. So you will be passing port to port. Again, you need to alter course to starboard and pass port to port. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Let me show you an example.
Going along quite happily, heading due north, 000. Don't you see? Now the red vessel.
Okay, so this is an example, cadet, of a head-on situation because the direction of this blue vessel is going to north, and that's 000 degrees, and this red vessel is going to south, which is 180 degrees. And as you can see,
after a while, they've established.
So after a while, there is no change in bearing, and yun, hindi pa rin nagbabago ang bearing nila. So there's a risk of collision because there's no change in bearing, but you are decreasing in range. So what you need to do is, okay, ang sabi daw, cadets, in Rule 14, if you experience head-on situation, alter course to port, alter course to starboard. Sino? Both of you. Parehas kayo mag-alter ng course sa starboard.
Shallow vessel to starboard, so that each shall pass on the port side of the other.
Okay. So anong nangyari? Both of you will be altering course to starboard, and then you will be passing port to port. Anong ibig sabihin ng pass port to port? What do you mean by passing port to port? So this red vessel, okay, padadaanin mo dadaan ka sa port side ng kabilang barko. And then ano naman sa blue vessel, dadaan ka rin sa port side nitong pulang barko. Okay? So that's port to port. You will be passing on the port side of the other vessel, and that's only possible if both of you will be altering course to starboard. Okay? So don't forget that. That's a basic rule of Rule 14. Alter course when you experience head-on situation, alter course to starboard, and then you need to pass on the port side of the other vessel. Port to port. You will be passing on the port side of that vessel, and the other vessel will be passing on the port side of your vessel as well. Okay? Ganun lang siya kasimple, cadets. And let's continue. So ayan, cadets, this is how you do you will be altering course to starboard and you need pass port to port, and of course you need to do it as early as practicable. Hindi yung sagad-sagad. Kaya nga made in ample time. So since both of you cadets are altering course to starboard, both of you are taking actions. So mostly you are considered, both of you are considered as giveaway vessel because both of you are taking action and none of you shall maintain course and speed. Okay, so paras kayong gagawa ng action. Okay, and then so letter B answers the question, sir, paano po kapag gabi? Paano ko po malalaman na yun po ay head-on situation? Okay? That's the importance of lights, cadet. Okay? So isipin nyo, cadets, kapag when you are traveling on the street, okay? 'Di ba? When you are head-on, you can see both of the lights, yung mga ilaw sa unahan ng kotse. Okay? That's the same as with the head-on situation. Nakikita nyo ba yung ilaw sa likod kapag kaharap nyo, 'di ba? Hindi. What you can only see are the lights on the front of the vessel. Okay? So, ang sabi dyan, the masthead lights of the other inline or both side lights and okay. So, both side lights should be in line, pantay. Okay? So, that is what on your view. So, let me give you an example. Let me give you an ano bang ibig sabihin nun? How do we consider? Okay. So this one, cadets, is an example of the best example of a head-on situation. Assuming, cadet, na ito yung inyong nasa bridge kayo, ito yung dapat yung makikita nyo. You can see the port side light, yung kulay pula, starboard side light, yung kulay green, yung kanyang masthead light, and the secondary masthead light ay pantay. Okay? So as you can see yan, cadets, ibig sabihin ay kaharap mo siya. Okay? It means that you are head-on with the other vessel. Paano naman yung sinasabi magkapantay daw? Kasi ibig sabihin, katapat mo siya, kaya pantay. Paano naman kung hindi mo siya totally kaharap? So ayan, cadets, as you can see, nakikita mo yung kanyang starboard side light, but you cannot completely see the port side light. Ibig sabihin ay nakapaling yung vessel sa port side. That's why you can mostly see the starboard side lights. Paano naman kapag ganyan? So as you can see, ibig sabihin, cadets, you cannot see, hindi mo makita ang kanyang port side lights. So this is mostly like a crossing situation because you can only see the port side, the starboard side lights, yung kulay green. And then ito, yan, same din. Hindi mo nakikita yung kanyang port side light. You can only see the starboard side light. So if there could be this could also be a crossing. So out of all these 4 cadets, the head-on situation is this one. When you can see, ito yung makikita natin sa gabi, where you can only see itong kanyang port side light and starboard side light. Okay? So, that is how ito yung sinasabi na magkapantay daw yung masthead lights at saka yung side lights. Okay? So, that's when you considered during nighttime, it's a head-on situation. If you can see both the side lights and the masthead lights, and mostly in line. Okay? Magkapantay. Imagine nyo lang, cadets. That's very, to imagine. Ayan. So sabi dyan, the masthead lights of the other in line are nearly in a line in both side lights. So yun yung pinakita ko sa inyo. Okay? And then, again, when a vessel is in any doubt to whether such a situation exists, then you need to assume it as well. Okay? If you are in doubt, if it's a head-on, then just assume that's a head-on. So you can take action. And sabi nga, if you take action to avoid collision, you need to do the 3. So unang-una, you need to confirm. Okay? Because that's the very basic thing to do. If you're in doubt, assume nyo. And when you assume, you need to take action to avoid collision. And when you make action to avoid collision, you need to follow the 3. And the first one is be positive. We need to confirm with the other vessel. So we will be calling on the VHF to confirm the situation. That's easy as that. That's how we avoid the collision. Okay. And then let's continue. So let's now proceed, cadets, to rule number 15. Okay. Let's proceed now, cadets, to rule number 15, which is the crossing situation. Okay. So with the crossing situation, when two power-driven vessels, this is very clear again. Okay. So rule 14 and rule 15, it's for two power-driven vessels. Yung number 12 ay, yung number 12, cadets, ay two sailing vessels. Yung rule 13 is for all the types of vessels. Okay? Both power-driven and sailing other sailing vessels. Okay. And according to rule 15, when two power-driven vessels are crossing to involve risk of collision, the vessel which has the other on her starboard side shall keep out of the way and avoid crossing ahead of the other vessel. So, ang unang-una daw, cadets, so let's have an example na lang. Let's me give an example, which is here.
Interval, which is right out the
Ayan, nag-loading lang, saglit. So I think this is very familiar to you already because we've been practicing crossing since the start of the semester. Lagi ko nang pinapakita yung mga examples. Okay. So, again, Rule 15 states that whoever has the vessel on her starboard side, she shall keep out of the way of the other. Kung sa Tagalog, kung sino yung may barko sa starboard side, kung ito ay crossing situation, kung sino man ang may barko sa starboard side, siya yung dapat na umiwas. So let this again take one by one for the benefit of everyone. So assuming you are the red vessel, okay, nasaan yung iyong kalaban na barko? Saang side mo? This is your port, this is your starboard. So the other vessel is on your starboard side. Let's assume you are this one. This is the port side and this is the starboard side. In which side is the other vessel? Nasa ang side yung kabilang barko? Nasa port side mo. Okay? So, kung ikaw itong kulay pula, ang kalaban mo ay nasa starboard. Kung ikaw naman ay ito, ang kalaban mo ay nasa port side mo. And according to the rule, cadets, kapag crossing situation, kung sino may barko sa starboard side, siya yung nararapat na umiwas. So, between the two, cadets, the one who shall keep out of the way of the other is this red vessel. Okay? That is how we analyze, cadets. We take the vessel one by one. Okay? And let's see if we do have a right judgment. Okay? That's how you do it, cadets. Ganyan lang sila kasimple. And then, let's have another example. Okay, as you can see, they are from this way, they are getting closer to each other, and the bearing of 90 degrees, okay, the bearing of 45 degrees is not changing. Okay, if you will be ahead, it's 45 degrees bearing. And as you can see, they're getting close to each other, and let's analyze again. So we already appraised that there's a risk of collision. So we need to check and we need to analyze who shall keep out of the way of the other, who shall take action to avoid collision. So if I am the blue vessel, I have here the port and I have here starboard. We have the port and the starboard. If you are the blue vessel, nasaan yung kalaban mong barko? Nasa starboard side. If you are this vessel, in which side is the other? Nasa ang side mo yung kulay blue na vessel? She is on your port side. And according to the rule, again, kung sino yung may barko sa starboard side, siya yung nararapat na umiwas. Therefore, this blue vessel shall keep out of the way of the other. And sabi, avoid crossing on the bow. Dapat hindi ka dadaan sa kanyang harapan. Mamaya, bibilisan mo, diyan ka dadaan, then that's already a violation of the rule. And you are putting the situation at risk. Okay? So if you are, kung kayo dapat yung gumawa ng action, you should avoid crossing ahead sa kanyang harapan, but so the best way to do is to pass through sa kanyang likuran. That's always the thing that we do, the process that we do. Okay, let's check if we have the correct analysis. So as early as possible, should have taken action to allow more time to take the action to avoid collision. And that's the right thing to do. Okay? So as easy as that, ganyan lang kadali ka, that's mag-comply with the call red if and only if you know the rule. Okay? So ayan. Let's go back to the PowerPoint. So I hope everything is clear with the Rule-15. So ayan. So siya yung may barko sa starboard side, so siya yung umiwas like the example kanina. And yeah, cadets. Let's see if I still have more examples. Okay, I think, ano ba yan? Okay, let's have this another example. Cadets. Okay, so analyze. So if you, between the blue vessel and the green vessel, who shall keep out of the way of the other? Sa dalawang barko, so we have monitored that the bearings not changing and there's a risk of collision. So sabi nga, if the bearing is not changing, then the risk of collision exists. Okay? If you are getting closer to each other and the bearing is not changing, the risk of collision exists and you need to take action. And we have these two vessels, we have the blue and we have the green. Who shall keep out of the way of the other? Okay? The answer is, let's see. What's the answer? Okay. So cadets, if the answer that you have made is the blue vessel shall keep out of the way of the other, then probably you have understood the principle already. Well done. Alright. So that concludes our rule number 15.